What's one type you'll never date again? The insanely insecure. Everyone can get insecure at times, and we all need a bit of reassurance every now and again. But I can't stand the level of insecurity where they need attention constantly and will still accuse you of cheating or not loving them, no matter what you do. No amount of reassurance will ever be enough for them, and they will go out of their way to sabotage the relationship just to prove themselves right. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, and you are being punished for trying to love them. The gym bro who made everything about fitness. Don't get me wrong, I love staying healthy, but I don't need a lecture about my macros while I'm enjoying my birthday cake. Last straw was when he tried to turn our date night into a couples workout session. I can smell the spiceless rice and chicken from here. Intellectuals who never admit they're wrong about anything.
I dated a guy who was super smart. Nothing wrong with that. I love someone who can teach me. He enjoyed giving me advice and talking about his experience. He was more experienced in sex relationships than me too. The only problem was that he acted like his opinion was the end-all be-all and refused to let me be better than him in anything. Anytime I tried to reciprocate by showing him my knowledge, he'd patronize me, or straight up just not listen. Funnily enough, we're in the same field and I run into guys like that all the time. Goddamn STEM bastards. Sickening that my self-esteem was low enough to actually get with someone like that. It was the hubris more than the intellect that made me leave. I didn't realize how fucked his attitude was until I met partners who elegantly balanced confidence and humility.
The constantly in a crisis but never does anything to fix it type. It's so hard when they're stressed about something and you have to sit there like, oh no, that's so rough, while there's a perfectly obvious way out of the situation they refuse to take. I get sometimes people just want to vent, but damn, I just can't handle people who seem to genuinely enjoy wallowing. Entrepreneurs. Dated a girl who owned her own business. It wasn't her busyness that bothered me. I liked that. It wasn't her independence. That was great. It wasn't her strong character. That was commendable. It was the fact that she believed the sun shone out of her ass because she owned her own company, and the rest of us were just brokey wage slaves who simply did not have the drive that she had. She believed that she was more disciplined, more driven, more intelligent, and overall a superior person to all others just because she had her own business. Those of us who sought after regular employment were simply not as successful or driven as her. I now earn more in my corporate job per month than she did in her busiest months. I just left an ex like this. She thought she was brilliant and basically thought lower of everyone else. Over time, found out her parents paid all her bills. Most self-proclaimed entrepreneurs have rich parents. Everyone else is just a humble business owner. I've noticed this with most highly successful people. Many of them claim they pulled themselves up by their bootstraps, but the reality is that most of them had support systems that others don't have. Years ago, I had a young landlord that would befriend all of his tenants. It was kind of weird. He would constantly lecture everyone about how they could be rich so easily, blah, blah, blah. His personal scheme was renting a house and renting out the rooms to everyone. He thought he was so brilliant. Well, he managed it poorly, and the whole thing imploded. He ended up getting sued by the homeowner and multiple tenants. No big deal for him. His parents had him on payroll at their dentist office and paid the rent for his fancy apartment in Pasadena. Failing in such a big way didn't hurt him in the slightest, and he moved on to his next scheme. Put any non-rich person in his situation, and they would be financially ruined and take years to recover.
They think they want a girlfriend but actually want a mom. Ugh, God, I wish I knew this was a thing. My husband is lovely and wonderful without a doubt, but he was so coddled and I was very independent. Thankfully, he tends to be eager to learn, unlike so many men I know. But damn, why do I have to ask him to remember something every single day when I just know to do things? It feels so unfair sometimes. Anyhow, at one point when we were first together, he mentioned that he loved that I already had a child because I already knew what to do. I see now that meant that I would be doing 95% of the upfront work. And he's come a long way. He really has. And I'm quite proud of him. But I'll be damned if I don't feel like I'm raising someone else's kid from time to time because his mom didn't want to give him any responsibility growing up. His mom is now our daytime childcare, and I swear sometimes it feels like full blown regression from him. I assume it's because he just kind of feels like she'll do things, so he becomes lax. I think if we had opted for private childcare, a nanny, he would stay more focused. I know it's not a forever thing. It just really sucks to feel like he needs to be managed to a degree, but I don't need to be. Oh, wait, bonus. I asked him what his plan would be if I died. Because this is real life and I expect he'd remarry eventually. And he said, I'd go to the gym early in the morning when the moms go. And I was like, oh, you what? So you'd marry someone who's also a mom? And he responds, yeah, I like someone who knows what to do. Still sounds like, damn, maybe I need a mother wife. Sorry to rant. This just hits home. He's a great dad and lovely husband. He gets better every day. I just can't help but resent his mom most days. Someone who is depressed but doesn't seek help or want to actually do anything to improve their life. It will completely break you if you have to deal with this every single day. All you want is for your partner to be happy, and all of your energy is spent doing whatever you can to help this, all to no avail. This destroyed my last relationship. I had meds I could order. My dad was offering to help me pay for therapy while I was still in school. My partner made it clear multiple times they wanted me to take care of myself, and I just fucking didn't. I was riding the high of being in what felt like the first serious relationship of my life, but when that started to wear off, I just fell apart. Not just with issues affecting myself, but things that affected my partner as well. It's not my fault I feel like shit half the days I wake up. It's not my fault I'm chronically tired. It's not my fault I'm barely motivated to get out of bed. But it is my fault when I have the means to address those problems and choose to do nothing.
I really love the quote. Your mental health is not your fault, but it is your responsibility. It's not our fault we have trauma and we're fucked up and bad things happened in our lives, but it is our responsibility to get the help we need if we want good things in our lives. Commitment issues and avoidant personality. They say all these beautiful things, then disappear. I've never had commitment issues. I love my wife and am devoted to her for the rest of my life, but I definitely have an avoidant personality, and it takes a ton of effort for me to be upfront about my feelings and communicate that I just don't always feel like being social or engaging with anyone. See, I have zero problems with being imperfect, and I'm the type to want to solve problems, and so I would be very happy to help someone through their problems. But if they don't want help, there's nothing I can do. I wanted to convince this person to keep dating me, but I'd be in the wrong if I didn't let them go and make their own decisions. I think it's very sad I couldn't convince them to stay with me.
Dudes named Matts, I've had enough.
Suit yourself.
Oh, no, wait, come back. I'm ready to make another mistake.
Self-proclaimed nice guys. You shouldn't have to advertise that you're a good person. Now it's a red flag. Any man who must say, I am the king, is no true king. Tywin Lannister. I dated someone who at every turn assumed the worst of me. It was jarring to have to explain why their worst fears about humanity and those behaviors were not what was going through my head. It was weird. A few years later, dated someone else like that who would just make wild accusations about anything and everything. She accused me of sleeping with someone I was going to go work for, to clean out some gutters until she found out it was a 96-year-old woman.
Those that avoid hard conversations for any reason. Being stressed is okay if it's for the sake of a better tomorrow. Put your big girl panties on, and let's chase the shit to the bottom so we can uproot it and be better for it. I let "this is stressing me out" become a key phrase to drop the situation entirely, which led to festering that had have best been done away with.
IF had this problem with guys, and I'm not proud of it. I just hated the idea of hurting their feelings and avoided it. I just found those big girl panties and am putting them on LOL.
Good girl. Have you had the realization that if there's a problem being hidden, that saving someone's feelings is impossible? They either face the pain of the truth or the pain of being deceived by someone they love. The shortest route towards genuine peace is working through what must be. Apologies for being preachy. I've just been on the receiving end of poor communication, and it left a strong impression. Have a lovely Tuesday. Thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful day or night, and see you soon. You can also watch Scary Reddit Stories #1.